y'all, it's your girl Stephanie. This is Wrestling Color Podcast right here on YouTube. Make sure you thumbs up the video, subscribe, follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. Turn on notifications if you want to keep up with me when I post. And what else? I think that's it. I'm gonna be sprucing up the place. I know I've been going for a moment. Now I'm back with a jump off. You know, I don't like to just be posting, don't have nothing to talk about, although a lot of shit has happened. So here's the question. Is there too much wrestling? Specifically pro wrestling. And so I'm going to answer it the best way I can from two perspectives. Objective and subjective. So if we're going from the objective, which is a person not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing facts, I'm going to say that there is not too much wrestling. I think there is a good amount of wrestling for anyone to enjoy. I think right now, for people my age, specifically, I'm 42. This is a dream come true for someone who always want to watch fucking wrestling. Like, if I just wanted to spend my Saturday or weekend just watching wrestling, I can literally do that. Back in the day, you couldn't just turn the TV on and put an app in and watch fucking wrestling. You had to wait till Saturdays. You had to wait till, whatever station WWE decide to put on. WCW was on, like, TNT. If you didn't have cable, you couldn't see it. Then you had to, like, really dive in. Like, you had to work to get the scoop, the backstage stuff on the message boards, or you had to get the magazines because WWE had a magazine, or you had to like be in wrestling groups and stuff. Like, it was a job to keep up with wrestling, but it wasn't that much wrestling, right? You still had like the backyard wrestling, you had like public access stations where they'll show wrestling, but for the mainstream it was like WWC later on, but mostly it was WWE, and then we did watch Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. That was it. Now it's so much fucking wrestling. A real wrestling fan would not have a peep to say. If you tired of WWE, and WWE got Raw, SmackDown, Main Event, NXT, all their pay-per-views, plus original content, you can say, you know what, I'm going to take a break. Let me go over to AEW, who now have Collision, Dynamite, all their content on YouTube, and whatever else you want to get from AEW. And if you say, you know what, AEW ain't my cup of tea, you can say, let me go over here and see what these folks is doing. Go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Go to Stardom. If you want to see them girls over there slamming and jamming like they doing. And then you say, you know what, I'm not interested in that. Let me see what over here is going on. Impact Wrestling is available on Impact Plus. Let me tell you something. I would suggest anyone get Impact. It's only $7. And then they give you 30 days free. You will love the content. Impact got so much fucking content, it's ridiculous. And all the wrestlers that everyone loves, all of them went through Impact. And then it's some shit that I was like, I used to watch this and I forgot. I like Impact. And since Trinity is over there, I'm watching it because I want to see what's going on with her. That's another conversation. So you got Impact. Then if you like a wrestlehead and you deep in the culture, like I see people online, they got Battle Club Pro. I think I've seen some more independent wrestling. I see a lot of black wrestling fans making up their own stuff. You got Wale Mania was a thing. They what else you got? I'm stuttering. What's it called? House of Glory, which is owned by Master P. That's still pumping. A lot of folks came out and come through House of Glory. They're on another station now. They're no longer on Fight TV. I forgot who's streaming them. It's a lot of fucking wrestling. So if we're coming from the objective, and you a real wrestling fan, and I'm talking about you enjoy wrestling, you like watching it, it brings you joy, you're not really sitting there just hate watching it, and it's like, this is the time, in all my years of watching wrestling, this is the best time to be a wrestling fan. Now, if we're doing it from a subjective point of view, based on influence from personal feelings, taste, I would say at my age, doing all the things that I'm doing, right now, I'm enjoying wrestling more than I've ever enjoyed it in all of my years watching it. I'm able to go to wrestling shows because I got my own motherfucking money. I'm able to interact with wrestlers. They say hi, they notice you, they point you out. I'm able to get the dirt the way I want to get it. I'm able to like really get into it because I can get merchandise and really like, relive my childhood a little bit. I have Peacock. I can look at old wrestling stuff and relive that. Like I said, I did Impact for Naomi, and then look, got reintroduced to Impact. Got a huge library, and they got some damn good wrestling and some really cool storylines. New Japan. It's hard to get New Japan in the United States unless you get. I know it's on Sling, but I'm not paying for Sling TV. But New Japan, you can get clips on YouTube and stuff. They put up all their content. Them girls over in Stardom be whooping each other ass. AEW and they Forbidden Door, like they saying Takashi Okada and all these people. I said, let me go see who these people are. I'm getting not reintroduced, but introduced to new wrestlers. I can go on and on. I think I would say, to answer the question, is there too much wrestling? No, I think it's just enough wrestling, and it may be even more space for even more wrestling. I really do. I think wrestling is a small community, even though it seems like it's super popular and explosive because we always talk about it, but I don't think wrestling is as big and popular as we think it is. But it's an exciting time right now if you are the type to take your time and enjoy the products that are being given. Right now, WWE, the biggest fucking story is the Bloodline, and that is history in the making. Especially if you were younger and you didn't really like understand what Stone Cold and them were doing. Now you are actually experiencing a historic run in Roman Reigns and a historic storytelling that's going to have a crescendo, a la Stone Cold and Vince McMahon, right? Me personally, next to the Bloodline, Stone Cold and Booker T's story, them my top two. I don't give a fuck about what nobody else talk about. Stone Cold and Booker T was some of the funniest and best fucking storytelling. Period. I don't even care if they shit only lasts a couple episodes. That shit was funny as fuck and it's iconic. Okay? So there you go. Somebody want to know my top two stories in WWE? It's right there. But then you got the ladies wrestling, which is another conversation. Where that's at, it's come so far and so much opportunity there, and to just see the growth as a wrestling fan who's been watching this since I was 5 years old. 5 years old. Even got injured because my brother used to wrestle the fuck out of me. But I loved it. It was a good time. I love it. I love it. I think right now is the best time to be a wrestling fan my age. If you're going to introduce somebody to wrestling, right now, this would be the time to do it. So that's my answer. Is there too much wrestling? No, I think this could be more wrestling, actually. I think it's just enough fucking wrestling, if not more, because I love it. I love watching pro wrestling, and I love talking about it. Look, I got a podcast, and this is a saturated ass market, but I got a podcast talking about wrestling the best way I can from what I see from a woman's perspective, paying attention to different cultures that's represented in wrestling. I just don't want to see white men and white women that I had to grow up with. I didn't have a lot of representation. Now the representation is so much more broad and wide, and it's beautiful to see. So one more time and I'm done. Is there too much wrestling? The answer is, for me, subjectively, no. I love what's going on. Is there too much wrestling from an objective perspective? No. I think what's going on right now, if you a real wrestling fan that likes to have a good time and enjoy the products that you can get, now's the time to do it. Check you on the next one.